Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to Coach's Corner East. I am your host, Mike Sparks. I'm at the Pizza Hut here in Galion for another show of Coach's Corner East on this Wednesday, the 16th of February, as we're just 2 weeks away from wrapping up winter sports and just a few more shows left. Our show is brought to you in part by Terry Ribble and Associates at your Galion Community Center YMCA. And Associates at Pizza Hut here in Galion and Bucyrus, host of our show since 1992, and Luann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery and Screen Printing, sponsor of our phone board t-shirts. Tonight's show, a little later on with the Crestline Bulldogs, it'll be Lance Hood and the girls basketball team as they prepare for their sectional semifinal game against Danbury Lakeside tomorrow. We'll be talking to them. Prior to that, it'll be Coach Kyle Fenner and the girls basketball program from Colonel Crawford High School. They get ready for their tournament sectional semi tomorrow against Willard. And to start things off tonight, it'll be the Galion wrestling team with Coach Brent Tyrrell and some of his wrestlers. Show is brought to you in part by Don Barn Associates at Galion Building Loan Bank, Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Kia 1 mile east of the Richland Mall, Mark Osborne and Associates at E-Crane International, serving worldwide markets from the Galion Industrial Park. And I'm pleased to welcome to the table this evening head wrestling coach Brent Tyrrell, and welcome to the show. And as I said before we even started, sorry it took so late in the year, but scheduling situations, it just kind of happens. And you guys have had a busy year on the mats and a successful year, haven't you?
It's been a fun year. Yeah, thanks for having us. I know our schedule didn't work out with your schedule, so
yeah,
but we got here.
We did. I was looking back all the way back to January 8th. You finished 6 out of 33 teams at the prestigious 59th annual J.C. Gorman. And you were missing a key contributor, weren't you?
I was missing 2 key contributors, so I mean, I think we could have been as high as 3rd, but I mean, it is what it is. Middle of the season, you never know what health is going to be like, and
but great experience with some probably elite wrestlers at that tournament, aren't there?
I mean, we had great results. Great results. We had no finalists, and we still took 6. So
that's impressive.
Good team effort.
113-pound freshman Falco Frank was 8th. Junior 120-pound Kidron Clark was 6th. Sophomore 138-pound Aydan Reyes, who's here tonight, was 3rd. Junior 144-pound Brodyn Butcher, he's here. He was 4th. And then 190-pound Landon Campbell, sophomore, 4th, and sophomore Alec Griffith, 285-pound, was 3rd. And even though you didn't have anybody place, you still finished really, really high.
Yeah, we had no finalists, but yeah, we placed top 5, which was good. I mean, it's good team effort. I mean, there's a lot of guys that didn't place that won some matches for us that contributed to the team score, so it was good.
About a week later, 16th of January, a very tough 53-team Maumee Bay Classic at Clay High School up in Oregon. Large number of schools. Do you like those big tournaments?
I do. It really gets you end of the season ready. The way I schedule it, we have 4 two-day tournaments in a row, which mirrors what districts is like, and state's a 3-day tournament. So it mirrors that. It gets us ready. Last year we were not ready, I don't think, for districts because we wrestled all the duels. The COVID year was weird, so we didn't have that tournament where every match gets tougher. Every match gets tougher, and then you have to grind out a win to place. I mean, it's hard stuff to do sometimes.
Alec Griffith, 6th place. Aidan Reyes went 3-2 and missed placement by a point. Sam Wegesin went 4-2, dropped a 2-point decision to miss placement. Brodyn Butcher, 2-2. Ryder McCabe went 1-2, and Caden Roberts went 2-2. And then another week later, you went to Van Buren and won that tournament. That was a 33-team tournament, and you won that one. 205 points. Tenora, very strong wrestling program in and of themselves. 187.5. Gibsonburg 154.5, and Wayne Trace 151.5. And you had 9 first-place winners out of 12. That was probably a sign to you that those 2 previous tournaments helped do what happened there, right?
Well, absolutely. We didn't have 9 first place, but we had 9 placers.
Oh, 9 place winners, excuse me. Yep.
Yeah, 9 placers. I mean, the way I tried to set it up to where it gets harder, then we have a tournament we can win, which I knew was going to be very competitive. Tenora gave us a run for our money, and I mean, we wrestled really well, and we did about as good as we could do, and I was very excited about that. It was fun.
Last weekend, you competed in the Canal Winchester invite, and You had 4 young men place. Landon Campbell went 5-0, was champion.
Yep.
144-pound Sam Wegesin, 3-1, was runner-up. 215-pound Caden Roberts, 3-0, and defaulted out. And 215-pound Mitchell Young went 3-1 and finished third. And the rest of your team competed in a tournament down at Mount Vernon then, correct?
We had a scrimmage in Mount Vernon.
A scrimmage,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
I mean, it was good. We had, those 4 guys had points and nobody else did, so I sent those guys to get some more matches in, and I mean, it was a good experience for those guys. So.
You know, you talked about the COVID year last year, and this year has been more regular.
Yeah.
What has impressed you about your group from the beginning of the season to where they are now as you head into the MOACs this weekend?
Well, we started the season, our number 1 goal is to win league. I mean, that's what we want to do, and as a team, then we have all kinds of individual goals on top of that. So, I mean, they've worked really hard. It's a long season. This is, I was just looking at our weekly announcement. This is like week 14 of the year. I mean, we've been working really hard for 14 weeks, and we're going to see how it all comes together here this weekend, and then on top of that, right into the postseason.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if I remember correctly, because of COVID last year, there was not the OHSAA team tournament, correct?
There was not team duels. No.
Last year.
Yeah.
But this year there was.
It
Did
was
you
sort
compete
of,
in that?
No. OHSA does not sponsor it anymore.
Oh, they
now
don't?
It's Coaches Association, so
Okay.
they only got top 8. I think it was top 8 or top 10 or I don't know, top 16 out of each division.
Okay.
And there's a point system based on points scored at districts and stuff like that. So.
Okay, all right. But you will be participating in the individual certainly coming up
Yes.
here. Very good. Take a break here before we talk to all of the athletes around the table. We're brought to you in part by Steve and Chuck Keller at Keller Auto Parts, your Napa dealer, Uptown, Galion, and Crestline. Marie Mounts at the Platinum Insurance Agency, your Progressive agent, 131 Harding Way East, Uptown Galion, and Joe Kleiman Associates at the Galion office of First Federal Bank of Ohio. Up first is Sam Wegesin, and it's good to see you back. We talked quite a bit during football season, and I know wrestling is really your thing, and we talked about it during football, how the two blend each other because of the physicality, the determination, the stamina, things along that lines. Have you deemed this a successful wrestling year for you?
Yeah, I think I've been pretty successful this year. Definitely gotten a lot better. Wrestled some really tough guys and had some tough fights.
Is it some guys that you could see in the tournament run at some point?
Yeah, the kid I lost to this past weekend, I could see him in the state tournament.
Where was he from?
Tri-Valley.
Tri-Valley, okay. So that's got to help you a little bit, kind of that mentality of been there, done that, seen it, knows what your moves are, and can kind of prepare for that accordingly, but you have some business to take care of before you get to that.
Yeah.
You got the MOACs coming up this week. How's your competition in your weight class going to be at that tournament?
It should be pretty good competition, but I'm looking to come out on top.
Again, guys that you've seen before, correct?
Some of them.
Yeah, also some you haven't.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's always something to prepare for, and that's really the first step in your ultimate goal, isn't it, is to really do well there.
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck, and I wish you the best, and hopefully you can get down to state this year. Is it at Columbus, or they have it at Schottenstein, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a 3-day event, so good luck, and hope you can get down there for sure.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Aidan Reyes, a sophomore. Hi, Aidan, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, and you're wrestling at what, remind me, what weight?
132.
132. Comfortable at that weight?
Yeah.
And you're going to go into the tournament at that weight?
Correct.
Okay, so your second year, a lot more experience this year. How have you become a better wrestler this year compared to when you were a freshman?
Well, last year I wasn't able to have a season because I actually got injured during football season. But so this is actually my first season as a sophomore. But it's gone pretty good so far, and I'm actually glad for the big tournaments that we've done that our coaches put in because it kind of like tells me where I'm at and where I can go from to for the state tournament. But yeah, it's going pretty good so far.
So probably a lot of times you're wrestling against juniors and seniors that have 1 or 2 more years of experience. That has to make you a better wrestler too, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't really look at it like that. I mean, I just go out there and wrestle my match, and usually don't look at rankings or anything like that. Just go out there and wrestle me.
Whoever's on the mat with you, and that's what you're going to go at. How about your competition in your weight class in the MOACs? Going to be difficult?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can get through it. I mean, if I make it to the finals, I think I have a pretty good match. Lost to the kid at the beginning of the season, lost by 2 points.
From where?
Pleasant.
Pleasant, okay, yeah, they have a very strong wrestling program, so an opportunity for redemption for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming out, continued success, and I just wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
You bet. Next up, we have Landon Campbell, another sophomore, and we talked a lot during football as well. You enjoyed your sophomore year on the football field. Has it translated over into the mat? Have you had a successful year on the mat, do you feel?
Yeah, I have. I feel like that
The strength feel good? You're in good shape right now? Not hurt or anything along that line?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Ready to go. And you're wrestling at what weight?
190.
190. And is that where you're going to stay? At this point, do most of you stay at what you've been at? You're not going to go up, you're not going to go down?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had to cut a lot of weight during the year?
No.
Not at all. How do you do it? Give me your secret.
Gain weight.
You gained. Oh, you gained. Oh, you were in the lighter weight earlier?
No, I just weighed at like 179, and then I just put on weight to wrestle 190.
I do that all the time at the holidays, and I can't cut. I got to learn your secret. So you're comfortable with that. That's great. Certainly, you want to get through MOACs. You want to place. Do you look beyond that a little bit to sectionals and eventually district and state and all that kind of thing, or are you mainly just focused on the task at hand?
No, I mean, I usually go like one tournament at a time, but obviously I want to be able to make it to state and place at state.
Yeah,
That's
good.
the top goal, yeah.
Well, have a great weekend, enjoy it, and have a great opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Next up, we have Brodyn Butcher, and Brodyn is a junior, and you're ready to go. It looks like you're ready to have a great long run, especially and start with the MOAC. That's important. Everybody wants to be league champ, right?
Yes,
I mean, any sport that you're in, that's kind of goal number one of many. You're going to be wrestling at what weight class?
Oh, 150.
150, okay. And your competition will be decently strong?
It'll be pretty good competition.
From anybody in particular? What school?
Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Ontario.
Yeah. Guy that you've seen before?
Yes, sir.
More than once this year?
Nope, just a duel that we had.
Okay. I'm sure it's different, and maybe I'm assuming it's different than, say, football, where you have some downtime in between plays, and maybe as you're going back to the huddle, you spout off and say a little something, or in basketball during a foul shot, you say, is there much trash talking or love for one another during a wrestling match, or
I've never experienced anything like
nothing
that.
at all?
No.
You just get down to business and you get after it, nothing in between you just get after it. So there's not been one of these things where maybe he said something to you and you're going to get back or anything like that?
No. Usually I just talk with the moves. It's like see if I can, like, I don't know. If he's talking trash to me, I'll see if I can maybe sneak in a hurtful move.
Hey, whatever it takes. I mean, whatever it takes, that's a great mindset. Well, I certainly wish you the best of luck in the tournament this weekend and then beyond, and thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. A young lady now that I interviewed a couple years ago, Larissa Franks, and the lone female on the Galion wrestling program. And you've been through some adversity and back. We talked a bunch when you got here early, and you had a knee injury last year that prevented you from wrestling, but you persevered and came back. You're wearing a brace, and you have a special event coming up this weekend. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was out for almost a year and a half, and I came back. Been practicing. I went to districts last week, placed third, and this weekend I'm gonna wrestle at state. And I can see myself placing on top. It's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna have to fight through some of those matches. There's some pretty tough girls this year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the sport, as maybe people don't know, the OHSAA is now considered girls sport or girls wrestling a sanctioned sport. Not that it really wasn't, but it's official now, and more are getting into it. And I bet you're seeing tougher competition, aren't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Marysville and schools down in Olentangy, they have some pretty strong programs already.
Yeah.
That have been building up for the past 2 years.
Well, as I mentioned before, I give you a ton of credit for persevering when you could have easily said, I'm tapping out, no pun intended, I'm done with wrestling. But you got back in it, and now you got a chance to be at state, and you're going to continue your wrestling career at a local college, aren't you?
Yes, I plan on continuing in Tiffin.
Tiffin University.
Yep.
That's a great opportunity for you. You're going to get to wrestle with some of those girls. You've already been up there and done some workouts, so I just give you a ton of credit and wish you the best of luck. They've never had a female state champion at Galion, correct?
No.
Nope, this would be the first one. Well, you
She
can.
got third 2 years ago.
Yeah, right. Oh, I knew she was pretty high. So you got an opportunity to etch your name in the record book. So certainly wish you the best of luck. Stay healthy and continued success for you.
Thanks.
You bet. Next up, it is Mitchell Young, is a senior. Hi, Mitchell. I knew you were down there somewhere.
How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Not bad.
Weight class for you?
215.
215.
Yeah.
All right. And kind of the same thing we've been talking about here. The MOAC is important, a really strong wrestling conference. And there's, you think about Pleasant, you think about Ontario, and you certainly want to win as an individual. Is winning as an individual at your weight class more important to you than winning as a team?
I wouldn't say so. I'd rather, like, even if I can't, like, obviously if I could be a champion, I would, but if, like, not giving up those extra points and, like, a close match like that I'm losing so that my team can get first, I'd rather do that.
Yeah, you'd rather give it up and have the team win
Yeah.
for the whole thing. What's your feeling? Do you think this Galion wrestling team can win the whole thing?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah,
We
got
did
enough-
A lot of hard work this year.
Good. And certainly your hope is to then go deep in the tournament. Do you feel you're strong enough at this point that you can get down to Columbus?
I feel like I'm definitely close. Last year I made it to districts, and I'm hoping last year I don't think I won a match at districts, so hopefully this year I can place at districts and go state.
All right, well, good luck. I appreciate you coming out. Next up, we have Caden Roberts, a senior. And Caden, it's good to see you again since football season. And you in good health, feeling good, ready to go?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
All right, and weight class you're going to be?
215.
215 as well. So you guys, you square off and practice together because you're the same weight class?
Yeah, we wrestle off.
What would happen, could it happen that you guys could meet for the championship in the MOAC against each other?
No, there's only one wrestler per weight class from a team.
Okay, there is. All right, so there's no way. And how is that determined then?
We'll wrestle off each week, and
Okay,
the winner of the wrestle off gets the spot.
okay. And then what do you do if you don't make it? You're an observer?
Yeah,
You're just there, but you could still go in the tournament and the sectionals and then districts, correct?
no, still one person per week from
I
each
see.
team.
So that's just determined ahead of time who's going to go. All
Yes.
right. That's interesting. How, are you, because there's, I don't know, I'm not to say there's hard feelings, but there's competition there amongst your teammate, right?
Yeah, I would say it's probably one of the tougher matches of the year. It's just scoring off against your own teammate,
Yeah.
who I've been friends with, for a long time. And
Right.
It's hard to wrestle your friends.
Yeah, I don't really envy you, but I guess I understand the system to some extent. But I don't envy either of you having to go through that. But I know in the end you'll do whatever's best for the team, and so that the team can place. Well, best of luck to you. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming. And finally, the super sophomore Alec Griffith. We talked during football season, and you've been really doing a lot of neat things at your weight class as just a young person, as a sophomore. How's the experience been for you this year?
It's good. I've had some tough competition. I've lost a few tough matches here this year.
And guys that you're going to see down the road potentially?
Yes.
They're going to come back. And you can learn from those experiences, certainly. What do you have to do to be successful this weekend? What's your mindset right now?
I just have to not overlook anybody, step on the mat, wrestle my match, and just get the job done.
Have you been focused in on practice this week where you say, hey, listen, I'm just going to take one match at a time. I'm not looking beyond that. It's just the here and now.
Here and now, one match at a time.
Ready to go, and whoever steps out there with you, it's their problem, right?
Yep.
All right, well, best of luck, and thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Take another break here before we talk to Coach as we wrap up the show. We're brought to you in part by the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer, straight west of Galion on the Manette New Winchester Road. Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Galion, Marion. Sweet Baby Ray Jones, Davey's little brother at Ohio Door and Sash, 120 South Street in Galion. Brent Tyrrell, head coach at Galion High School on the wrestling team, back at it. And I asked the kids before you got here if they'd like having the league tournament at your facility, and they all said, yeah, well, I'd rather stay here than go. So you feel that too?
Yeah, I like it. I think we run it well, so, and it's nice to be at home. I mean, right afterwards, you just go home.
Does the league, does the league try to move it around, or they just?
No, nobody else is wanting to run it, so we just continue to do it. We'll continue to do it until someone else wants to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll allow other teams to run it, and it's okay, but nobody wanted to step up and do it, so we just keep doing it.
We have a great facility there in the gym. How many mats will be going at one time?
We only do 3 mats. It's not, I mean, it's an 8-team tournament, so, I mean, there's not a ton of matches, but.
Yeah. And public's welcome to come? They're-
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And is it online ticketing, or are you selling tickets
No,
at the door?
they sell tickets at the door.
Okay, and what time does that start on
Starts
Saturday?
at 10 a.m. Saturday,
Okay,
and then I predict finals will be around 4 o'clock.
okay.
So-
So it's an all-day event,
Yeah.
and you usually get pretty good crowd. I know last year with the COVID you couldn't, but you expect a
I
pretty
mean,
good crowd?
Yeah, we usually get good crowd. I mean, usually most of the teams in the MOAC are well-traveled, and they'll bring a lot of fans. So, and it's gonna be very competitive, so there's 3 or 4 teams that think they can win it, so we'll see what happens.
Your expectations are that this group can win it?
Yeah, my expectations are we're gonna win it.
And you've talked to them about that, and,
Yeah.
and they believe in it?
Sure. We've
Ready
been
to-
talking about it since day one, so, I mean, that's number one goal. I mean, we have not won a league title since, I think, 2013. It was 14, it was NCC at that time. And we haven't, prior to that, we haven't won since, 87.
87.
Okay.
So,
And you expect Pleasant and Ontario to be your
Pleasant, Ontario, yeah, and Highland has a good team.
Yeah.
There's some, I mean, it's gonna be fun.
Then you have sectionals the following week. Where will your sectionals
Our
be?
sections are at Clyde,
Clyde, okay.
Yeah.
And then districts after that would be at
Norwalk.
Norwalk, okay, good. And then the opportunity to go to the Schottenstein Center, and hopefully you can get a lot of kids down there and have a great experience. And
That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Very
We got a lot of work to do, though.
yeah, well, there is. And
We're a really young team, and we have 3 freshman starters and 5 sophomore starters, so, I mean, we're a young group.
have you been happy though, all top to
absolutely.
bottom?
Absolutely. I mean, all these guys that are here are captains or are very successful, so that's why I brought them. And I mean, we've had other guys that are at home that are very successful as well. So,
Sure, sure.
I mean, I can't bring everybody, obviously.
Right.
But it's been a great year. I'm excited for this group, and I'm excited for the future as well.
Very good.
So,
Well, thanks for coming out tonight. Good luck to all of you, especially Larissa this weekend. Get it state championship back, and guys, for all of you, best of luck at the MOAC.
thank you, sir.
Appreciate you coming. We're going to take a break. It's Colonel Crawford girls basketball right after this timeout.